I was considered to be an expert with the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, Special Litigation. It's called CRIPA, which was the authority that the U.S. Department of Justice had to ensure that persons who were institutionalized were adequately protected and that their constitutional rights were not being violated. And so I've worked with the Department of Justice in various capacities in various states, and we first came into Indiana, myself with a team of attorneys, to Newcastle within 24 hours after the news story broke. And then shortly after the Newcastle story, then we went to Muscatatuck. Randy Kriebel, who was really our contact person, who helped coordinate the visits, and we would come in for generally a week at a time, come in on Sunday and leave late on Friday. And during those times, we'd also coordinate where we would have state office meetings. So we'd come to Indianapolis and meet with various representatives from SSA. At Muscatatuck, early on it was obvious that they did not have the professional staff available to meet the needs of the individuals at Muscatatuck, nor the leadership. The community was so dependent upon Muscatatuck, and so by just even, we would be there for a week at a time and staying locally and having comments made to us that we were changing the economy of the area. Did we realize what we were doing to the economy? Trying to almost passively aggressively, maybe not so passively, let us know that we were having a negative influence on the locale and the kind of state of affairs. And the employees at Muscatatuck, of course, were quite concerned about their future. And I think it took a lot of hopefulness that there would be employment opportunities for them, because community development, community programs were just starting to develop. And it was, a lot of futuristic kind of plans that were being put into place. And of course, Newcastle was also similar to Muscatatuck, but that was a smaller environment and less dependent maybe on the locale and the horrific situation of the abuse that happened at Newcastle. It was really a community outcry and a state outcry by primarily the governor's office, that announced its closure quite quickly. So it was a different set of circumstances, and with the employment dependency, and I think in South Indiana, I think was really a big catalyst why we got that kind of pushback. The settlement agreement with the U.S. Department of Justice that we entered, I was very involved in crafting that and making sure that all the elements of a good service system were in place, including risk management and quality assurance systems and case management, and that providers had adequate funds, the community providers, to provide services in meaningful, less segregated ways, and helping develop standards to ensure that there was education for providers to understand the need for inclusion and integration, and that people wouldn't just sit at home all day, but have opportunities in the community. And community connectedness, was a big part of not just being present in the community, but also be a participant in your community. And the reunification of families and extended family members, was always something that I've always felt very strongly about, that the point of, in the early days in the field of, it was recommended by family physicians to remove your child, send them to a place where they could get, quote, specialized services and be with their own kind. And it was best to stay away, let them adjust. And it was really a promotion of separation from family versus trying to, reunify and reconnect and support and reinforce those extended family member connections. Many times, the parents were deceased or aging or in nursing homes and weren't capable of being active guardians, and so we had to seek other family members that may have not had any association with their sibling because they left home at a very early age or they were older, and the younger sibling had no family connection with them until we asked them to come back into their lives.